just ask basic questions. And this is not considered medical advice. This is just us trying to answer basic questions for you, point you in the right direction. If you have something specific, ask your provider, or come join us on amstelehealth.com, become our patient, and you got access to us like this, an hour every Wednesday, unlimited texting. So come see us.
Yes. And at 11:30 today. So if you're a coaching client, the call is at 11:30 today. So what that is, it's VIP coaching. Let me make Amanda co-host. It is VIP coaching, which means it's an extra hour. We dive a little deeper into health, life coaching, weight management, that kind of stuff. So there you have it. I'm sure Brandy said that. Hi, Patty. Brandy didn't say hi, Patty. That was me saying hi, Patty. But Brandy said over on Instagram, she got home. I-45 North is a nightmare. Yes. I was on Grogan's Mill trying to get home from dropping my kid off today. And I was like, wow, I'm stuck. All right, Krista, did you get did you really get 500 text messages or did you get like 10? Because it topped out at 11 last time, and that's a Twilio issue, so we will no longer be using them, and it took us 8 months to set them up, so I'm super excited about that. So it's a complete waste of I actually need to know the number. So yeah, because my phone's been blowing up with people telling me that they're getting texts. I'm like, yeah, I know, because thanks I need to actually get on this live, so stop texting me for a second. So yeah, like literally everyone's like, by the way, yep. I know. So sorry, if you are a patient, we will no longer be doing messages that way. Twilio is garbage. Yeah, period. End of story. Period. I'm like, not super cool. So I apologize for spamming everybody, but hey, shows you I'm here, shows you I care, shows you I'm trying to do shit. What questions do you guys have for fat loss, weight management, maintenance? I got a little freaked out with my food noise yesterday. I was like, oh crap. Do I do another? This is the dilemma, right? Because I took 5 milligrams of tirzepatide yesterday. And last night I was like, I have a little food noise. I have some food noise. What do we take an extra 2.5? I'm like, how about you just wait till tomorrow and see what it feels like? Today I'm fine.
Eat your protein.
Okay, you know what? We're going to have Courtney, Neil, and Amanda go through the pillars of AMS while I go get a protein shake and some fruit. I'll be right back.
Well, first, perfect. I have to full disclose that I met a box of shortbread cookies yesterday that apparently had my name all over it. I think that's the first time since I've gone on this medicine that something that I didn't stop after a little while. So I was due for my shot, so I certainly went straight home and took it. So, but and I had a very, very protein focused lunch. This was in the afternoon. Yeah, that's the first time that I couldn't stop. So yeah, that was scary. And I do have one of our patients / a friend of mine who reached out with the same issue. She had her first time she couldn't stop, and she was, real scared by it, as was I. And she does all the right things. She does the protein in the morning, every morning. But sometimes it's just regrouping, I think. The mental breaks through. We lived our lives this way. And I think that to expect perfection out of ourselves, even with the medicine, is just sometimes it's not going to happen. But as I told her, and I told myself, and my husband told me, and Maureen tells us all the time, it's a lot easier to come back and regroup and say, okay, yes, I ate a box of shortbread yesterday. And it's going to be okay. I'm not going to keep eating a box of shortbread. So, and they were really good. And now I'm okay with not eating shortbread for a while.
Forever.
So, you know, I fed that need and it's over now. And I will absolutely be able to go back to that same store and not buy another box of shortbread. So I think that's the lesson, is that we all fall down, but we can, with these medicines, pick ourselves up way better, way faster, and continue on with the perpetual journey that we are all on. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I agree. Patty over on Instagram. I am so excited, Patty. So excited.
That's the one I forgot. Instagram.
Yes. Patty said she's starting GLP-1 on Friday. That is what we do all day, every day. And I have decided I'm no longer fighting my pulse, my coaching. I'm going to focus on women. All right, here we go. Sorry, Neil.
That's right.
But I got to focus on women, because what I've realized is that navigating that journey, and it's not just the GLP-1, right? Here we talk a lot about protein, hydration with electrolytes, which Patty, I'll get into that because you need to do that. We'll talk about that too. If you're starting.
So anyhow.
All right. Who's not muted?
I can never find the YouTube until it's over. It never pops up for me.
Seriously?
Yep. I can go on like your thing and it won't show up until it's over for me.
All right, that's bizarre.
Yeah, the last one popped up and that's all pop up for me. It's weird.
I'm gonna put the link in the chat in Zoom. If you're a coaching client, you get access to the Zoom so you can have private comments. But if you're just starting a GLP-1, and yes, I am starving, so sorry, I'm eating big, humongous freaking blueberries.
Those are huge.
Right? They're like the size of plums. I'm like, what the hell's going on? But whatever. GMOs for the win. Sorry, it was terrible. But let's go do Patty's first, because this is what we do all day, every day. My coaching, I'm now going to gear it toward women, because I realize so many people.
Those are huge.
There we go.
Narrow the. People don't know how to navigate one. So I'm going to tell you a quick story. I had one of my coaching clients went to her doctor, and her doctor said, "Oh, I think you should start on Manjaro," because she was, BMI 29 with crappy labs, whatever. And she said, "Great. I think, she talked to me last weekend and said, 'What do you think?' And I said, 'Yeah, no, I think it's a great idea, especially for the aches and pains she was having, all the things, right? All the things we blame on perimenopause when it's really excess fat mass.' So like, I've got to help this age group of women lose fat mass, right? Whether it is or not, tirzepatide or not, or whatever. But her doctor said she would only do the weight loss program if she used her compound pharmacy that she worked with. And this woman has Zepbound coverage. I said, just have her send it to the
That's
pharmacy.
a pure money grab.
Which is money grab. I'm like,
garbage.
That is so bullshit. Be a doctor, be a healthcare provider.
Yeah.
Don't be a sleazy human.
That's not cool.
No. Yeah, take your trip to Hawaii, push that Oxycontin. Get the hell out of here with that.
Right? I was like, so anyway, so I got her to Nikki. She's not States, got her to Nikki. Nikki's got her started. I mean, really, she picked it up. Like, that was it. She went to the pharmacy and picked it up. It was $51 a month.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yep. And I was like, so anyway, she's my coaching client because I realized there are so many people out there that they're not being told how to navigate that process, what to ask your doctor, what to ask your insurance company, that part. So I'm so sorry, Patty. I'm like super long-winded. Not that this surprises you at all. I know Patty from the outside real world. But when you first start taking a GLP-1, and like I was telling this coaching client the other day, the biggest thing is to stay hydrated with electrolytes. If you are an early responder, which means like I felt it that day. I was an early responder. If you're lucky enough to be an early responder, because it'll make your journey a little bit cheaper, maybe, if you're lucky enough to be an early responder, you've got to maintain like sips of clears and protein shakes. That's your go-to. And the funny thing is today I have zero food noise. So I'm like, okay, all right, I'm done. I'm done with the blue. Like I literally had half a cup of blueberries. I'm like, and we're done. So you have to make sure that you're hydrated with electrolytes, especially. So that's really the thing. Allow the drug to work. I wouldn't focus on more than one thing. So I want this from the peanut gallery here too, because I was thinking about this in the very beginning. We forget this, right? Like in the very beginning, we tell people all these things, do this, this, and this, and do this. We've been dieting for our whole lives, right? So let's just chill out, have some electrolytes, take a couple weeks. You know, you're not going to lose all your muscle mass in 2 weeks and then start.
And we used to tell people that, like, we used to be like, okay, for your first month, just chill, relax into this, focus on some hydration. We'll get into other stuff later. But I think more and more are like, they hear the fast responders. So when they don't feel something after their first injection, and then we want to give them information. So in the process, we probably overload them with information instead of just saying, like,
Yes.
especially because now, when we first started, most people were using the coupon and it wasn't all that expensive. Now more and more people are having to use the compound, which is a bit more costly, even at the beginning doses, than the $25 coupon. And so instead of just saying relax and chill, we want them to respond and we want to help. So we start talking about the pillars instead of just saying, hey, relax,
Yep.
just chill. You've dieted for years. Let's get in some hydration. Let's let this medication work. When you start feeling like you're having some appetite suppression, we'll start focusing on, we'll start dialing in on some real tips and lifestyle changes.
Yeah. Yep. And Linda said on the Zoom, I like the Zoom so I can see people and not just your random voices. Yes. So that's why you go to watchdrmo.com or you go to drmocoaching.com and get into the Zoom room. But yes, Courtney, I totally agree. I want to get the CMOS comment. If CMOS is your thing, there are almost no drugs that interact with GLP1s. I say
Yeah,
almost.
the only thing I'd be cautious of is sometimes they sit in your stomach longer because you're on the GLP-1, so you might cause some reflux. But that's the only thing I would worry about. But otherwise, no interactions.
Yep. Yep. Is compound, I was waiting for this one. This took us a whole 15 minutes to get here. Is compound tirzepatide no longer available? So as it stands right now, 503B pharmacies are still supplying compound tirzepatide, and a compound pharmacy group is suing Eli Lilly.
Oh,
Just got an article sent to me because they're saying that they removed the shortage when it was not. Okay, if my husband could stop texting me and tell me every time he receives the text. And our development team is now texting me. Can you emergently talk? No, you're about to emergently get fired. So one of our pillars is stress. We always talk about, well, how do you get rid of stress?
You don't.
You don't. You mitigate it, right? The main question of the month. Yes, it will be the main question of the month with compounded tirzepatide, because Eli Lilly did market now for what, 8 weeks now. It's been marked as available in all doses. But now officially Eli Lilly took it off the shortage list, which means that they cannot make the drug exactly. There's the compound pharmacies are still right now, at least for the next 60 days, business as usual. Because they're up in arms because patients still can't get Zepbound. And what do you mean it's not in shortage? Like the distributors say it's in shortage. So anyway, I can't fix that part. So we're just, that's where the navigating part comes in, right? Well,
After reading a lot of people emailing and messaging FDA and their responses, basically with I don't know if it's going to come back off a shortage. Basically, the FDA is saying it's related to cold storage transport. How much the actual pharmacies are able to order based on how much their budget is, how much they can actually store at their facility. And then it takes time. So let's say they are short right now because they need a bunch of 12.5. If they didn't order it, they have to wait for the cold storage to transport to get to their whatever location and then transport to their facility. And then they only have so much room. So it sounds like the FDA is basically blaming all the other logistics. as opposed to Eli Lilly.
But that still doesn't mean patients have medication in their hands. Like
Correct.
that's the,
But it's not Eli Lilly's. But basically what they're saying is that Eli Lilly isn't responsible for trucking
Gotcha.
companies and like, let's say, the fridge is only so big at your local CVS. Okay, they can have 8 boxes because there is other medications in there. They can only order 8 at a time. So if 8 people got those other ones, unless CVS gets a bigger refrigerator for these types of medications, it's really CVS's fault for not having a larger refrigerator.
Yeah, so you can't tell where the actual
Yes.
bottleneck is.
gotcha.
If Eli Lilly's like, hey, we're willing to send it,
Yeah.
but they can't meet the demand. That's the pharmacy that can't meet the demand, not Eli Lilly.
Yeah, that's the way I interpret all the letters that people keep getting from the FDA. So after after a call, I was like, we'll see if it goes back on shortage. And after reading those letters, the way the FDA is reading it, whether you think there's some kind of conspiracy or not, it doesn't sound like it's going to go back the other way unless some kind of like whistleblower comes out and says, nope, this is the letter I got that says take it off shortage, and this is why.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So I think in 60 days, that'll be that. And I don't know if they're going to get like some kind of a judge to allow compounding pharmacies to continue processing it while they investigate.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know. Yeah. Anyway, we also may change our fee structure so that we just include the PAs. Because I think we're going to have to go that route, and I think it would be easier for patients. I've been batting that around a lot lately. That I think we should just include a prior authorization, have the lowest increase we can in fees and just include a PA, because I think that we should, because I think we really need to start fighting insurance companies. Not fighting, right? But at least letting them know, like, listen, this is what we're asking for. When all of these PAs are in and they start getting bombarded with them, at least it shows the demand more than anything, So I don't know how to change the world. So we're going to try to live in it successfully.
Vote. That's kind of the only thing you're going to do. Find someone who aligns with your beliefs and you're going to have to vote for them, because unless that law changes with some of this stuff, nothing else is going to change, because it's just not.
I know. Well, and in voting, I know. I'm just.
Well, you're looking,
I know.
not always a great choice. Like, so.
I know, right? This is the best we can do.
I don't think I've ever voted for somebody. I've always voted against somebody since I've been 18, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Isn't that sad? Isn't that sad? I mean, this is not a political show for sure.
No, which is why I'm not mentioning sides or anything. It's just,
it's just a comment that really, I know. Amy asked on TikTok, is there anyone who shouldn't take GLP meds? Absolutely. If you are pregnant, wanting to become pregnant within the next 3 months, breastfeeding, have a history of medullary thyroid carcinoma or multiple endocrine neoplasia. So,
or type 1 diabetic on insulin.
Oh yeah, there you go. Sorry. I'm like, there's something else. There's one more that I'm missing. Type 1 diabetics. Yes.
Well, and then there's the question of the pancreatitis, not a black and white.
Yeah. So yeah, pancreatitis is well, there's lots of relative contraindications, which means pancreatitis, it's not shown to increase. Gastroparesis, but again, is your gastroparesis caused by uncontrolled diabetes? If that's the case, again, these are relative, which means you got to talk to your doctor. You got to talk to your nurse practitioner. You got to actually, this isn't just about, hey, can I get my drug? This is about, like Amy said, should I be taking this drug? Is it appropriate for me? I'm a chronic daily drinker. Is this a good idea? Probably not, unless you're going to stop. And, you're like, well, I don't drink a lot. Okay, here we go.
Well, is chronic daily drinking a good idea? No, it's not.
Hey, Jackson.
Jackson's back, guys. Jackson's back on TikTok. Where you been, Jackson? He said obesity can increase risk of pancreatitis too. Absolutely.
And obesity increases your risk of type 2 diabetes, which increases your risk of gastroparesis as well. Yes. So, I mean, it's
and yeah, Nate's right. I do know of some local endocrinologists, but this is in their camp that are using it with type 1 diabetics on insulin. But that's someone that absolutely needs to be managed by their endocrinologist
Oh yeah, absolutely. Way more
Oh,
closely
no.
than we can do via telemedicine.
Yeah.
Um,
And
Jerry has a
continue
good question
dose
that's
under in this
that's
American.
fast going up there. Should I switch to semaglutide? And I'm assuming she's talking about, is tirzepatide not going to be available? My little opinion would be I wouldn't cross that bridge until you get there, because either way, you're going to have to drop down to the lowest dose. And if you're doing well on your tirzepatide, I know we would have time to get you the semaglutide, unless you're at the very end of your vial. I mean, either way, you're reordering tirzepatide or you're reordering semaglutide. I say reorder the tirzepatide as long as it's there if you're doing well on it. That would be my opinion.
Yep, I agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
run it. If you're already on tirzepatide, I would use it until you can't use it.
Yeah. Get the results. Get the results we know tirzepatide can do until you can't.
Yeah.
Because we don't know.
Do you see Weight Watchers went back on compound and is not prescribing semaglutide? Not prescribing semaglutide, or now prescribing. Hold on. Now
Oh,
prescribing.
she changed it. Yeah.
Were they only prescribing tirzepatide before? What is wrong with them? Like, I'm sorry. I mean,
Well, more people want tirzepatide, and they probably raws probably cost the same, but you can charge more for tirzepatide.
And it makes it more complicated to do too.
Yep.
If they're doing like, medicine from way up here, not great. And very protocoled, also not great, then it makes it a lot easier to just do one.
Oh, I see, Jackson. That's right. They were part of the companies that weren't prescribing compound. They were somehow getting prior authorizations for name brand only, but there was questions about how exactly they were getting all those to go through.
now that happened in the beginning too,
Mhm.
with certain companies were frankly lying to the insurance companies and using false diagnosis codes.
Yes.
Certain telehealth
Heather,
providers. Give telehealth providers a bad name because listen, we're telehealth, right? But guess what? We are real people, obviously, because none of us dress up for this shit. And we just show up. This is how AMS is, which brings me to Heather. Heather, welcome. I'm so excited.
Welcome.
I hope you're safe in Florida. Stay safe in Florida. We're watching the webcam at our condo.
Meant to ask you, is it not like right in the
We're actually a little bit south of that, so might get a little bit of a storm surge, but hopefully not totally pummeled. So, granted, Nikki's blue dot. Nikki's blue dot is literally on the path, the middle of the path. So, anyhow, yeah, several providers don't have TERS as an option anymore. A lot of them use 503A pharmacies, which got shut down immediately. So it's illegal to not offer you options with compound pharmacies, because my lawyer is very strict. And so we have 7 different pharmacies that we use. 2 of them no longer offer tirzepatide. Period. End of story. So I just heard somebody. Was it? Oh, yeah. Backyard. What time is it? What's Tuesday? Who's coming in? Oh, I know. Okay, never mind. So Heather just submitted the intake questionnaire on the website. When can I expect a call? So we do not call. So we will text you. Sorry. I don't have headphones in, guys, because I got 3 screens going at once. So sorry about the background behind me. Whatever, deal with it. We are obviously real people. So we don't call. You do schedule a video visit, but we get you started simultaneously. Especially in Florida, we don't have to do the video visit first. So we get you started by text. You'll get a text from the care team saying, hey, how are you? Here's your nurse practitioner. If you hop over to Watch Dr. Mo or you hop on AMS Telehealth, the team, you'll see the team. You'll see who's actually texting you. So that should probably be back with you. My guess, this time of day, probably before we're off this live.
No.
So
because I'm on the live. I'm on the live. So
Courtney's like, I'm
yes.
here now.
Okay, well, after that, when Courtney gets off the live, I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know who's working today.
It's me.
It's Courtney. You'll hear from Courtney. Not in a half an hour. So
Yeah.
shortly there.
Sometime today.
But grab Heather first today, Courtney.
Yes, we'll do.
That's hilarious. Courtney's like, no, I'm busy unless I can do this in the background. Okay, here we go. Sorry, now see, and we're Fucking around. Do we ship to Louisiana? So we don't ship anything. We are not a compounding pharmacy, but we do provide healthcare for patients in Louisiana. Period. Some of our pharmacies will ship to Louisiana. So yeah, I just want to make that distinction. We are not a compounding pharmacy. We are a lifestyle medicine practice that does, and what we consider lifestyle medicine is not just lifestyle medicine diagnoses, right? Like being overweight, having hair loss, that kind of thing. There's a whole thing going on next door. Sorry, I'm like, I mean, boy, the filter's tough, man. The filter's tough. Okay, so we don't just do lifestyle medicine diagnoses. Part of what we consider lifestyle medicine is the ability for us to provide care and for you to get care quickly and effectively, which is why we do what we call asynchronous telehealth, which is by text. So, all right, what else we got?
Logan's got a
Thanks,
great
Lena.
question.
Hold up. I'm
Love
telling
that.
you, like, these people are like, I did not pay these people to be on here. Just saying. Sure, you come next time. Link is still going, Steph. If there's one thing you could say to yourself from before you started, what would it be? It would be kind of a twofold sentence, but even more than the protein the first month, I would have used my excess body weight for body weight strength exercises. That is the number one thing I would have said. Because I got 50 extra pounds. Use it. Like, finally make that weight a good thing. Use it to do body weight squats. You're squatting with 50 extra pounds, right? And now I do squats and I'm like, I'm kind of a weenie. So
Yeah, I would just like when you're picking up, well, if it's brand name like back then, I'm like, okay, well, I'm here picking up my Monjuro script. I will grab like some electrolyte drinks to see which ones I like, some protein drinks to see which ones I like, and start walking around the outside of the the supermarket. Like, these are the things I'm going to need to be eating.
yeah, walking on the outside.
Because
if you're only eating 1,000 calories a day in the beginning, once it hits, you need to get a good bang for your buck. You need to get good nutrition. Now, we're not saying to be fanatical about it. Just chill, walk around the outside. What strikes you? And most people will have cravings for healthy food. Neil, what are you drinking today?
I'm drinking Ghost hydration.
I didn't know Ghost had hydration. Or the
They
flavors?
do. It was $1 over the weekend.
Oh,
At Vitamin Shop. Every once in a while they'll throw, have a $1 sale for like either energy drinks or hydration. So limit 6, unfortunately, but I went twice.
Limit 6. Yeah. You walked around the building. I'm going
I
back.
went twice, brought my kid. Here.
I was going to say, yeah, you've got extra people in your house. Hand them your card and send them through.
Hilarious.
Well, I've done it before. I brought cash. So at least here, like in the Houston area, it's like for 6 of them at $6.50 with tax. So I would just, here's $6.50. Here's $6.50.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
I want to say one more thing about what I would say to myself before we go to the next question. And that's that with these meds, it is different. You can accomplish what before was impossible. Because I'm 10 pounds less than what I thought was my goal weight. And now I have absolutely every expectation that I can get a little farther. So the brick walls that were there before, with the help of these medicines, can come crashing down. It's not going to happen overnight, but it can happen with these medicines. So what'd you post?
Oh. Okay. I think I would tell myself to quit. This is hard. 1, develop those healthy habits, like you said, early, because I didn't necessarily do that. Certainly didn't exercise. And 2, the lie that I've told myself for decades: once I get there, I can maintain. Once I get there, I can maintain. Once I get there, I can maintain. No, the F you cannot. Sorry, it is not. Maintenance is messy. We've said it 1,000 times. Maintenance is going to continue to be messy, even with medications. Amanda had a shortbread incident yesterday. I had an entire weekend of like birthday and baby shower and travel and, eating all of my favorite foods. And today's Monday. I know it's Tuesday, but today it's Monday and it's time to start back and get back into healthy habits. And even with medications, even after 2 years, it still can happen because life isn't perfect. Life is messy.
Yeah.
So Nate just finished his first year in Monjuro, down 253 pounds. Am I reading that
Wow.
right, buddy?
That's
Or you're down to 253? Like,
either way. I
that's
mean,
insane. If you lost 253 pounds, that's insane.
yeah, that's wow.
And congrats.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Wow, congrats, buddy. That's an insane amount.
You lost that much. Wow.
You lost a full-size grown man. How
Like,
did your knees and hips feel? Because it has to feel amazing.
Yeah.
that's wow.
Because I think what is it? It's either 4 or 6 pounds on the knees for every step with every pound above it. So basically it's like an extra 1,000 pounds less per knee when you walk, which is an
Oh, yeah.
insane amount.
That's,
Yeah, it is. It's sorry, there's my hand. Okay, we're in. Sorry about that. They're
Ah, Nate, I feel amazing.
doing construction now next door. So we're in the,
yay.
you know how much that makes me happy.
Yeah.
Beth is asking, how do I calculate my calorie deficit? So you can hop online and use one of those calculators, just kind of get your basal metabolic rate and kind of go from there. It's like the Harris Benedict, I think is what the equation is called. And you can
Right.
start with, what's that?
Yes, there we go.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
So you can start with that number, but that is just a guesstimate. And basically when you use it, I would use it, you know, it's going to change because you're going to use it on, let's say you're 300 pounds today, you're going to base off 300 pounds. And as you lose weight, you're going to need to adjust that formula based on your current weight. I typically would aim for, like if I was doing it, like what I want my lean body mass to be. So if I want my lean body mass to be about 170 pounds, I would use that as my gauge and I would start at that number. And then, if I'm not losing weight at that number, I would decrease it. So if I'm supposed to be eating 1,800 calories to maintain my weight, I would start there, see how it goes. And if I'm not losing, I would drop 250 calories off and see how it goes. And if that's not enough, I'll keep dropping calories.
Yep. Agreed.
But you can just kind of guesstimate it if you want, or just kind of eat like you're eating and calculate what you're eating today and then start subtracting calories from it. But you need data so you can kind of make adjustments. So food diaries, food logs, and kind of get yourself a good estimate.
Yep. Got a stall question from Hope. Down 53 pounds, have 8 or 9 more to goal, which is like the worst time, right? Been battling the same 3 pounds for 3 weeks. Any tips?
Yep.
I would do the same
Now
thing
the
instead
first
of
time for the pillars.
it is. I'll start with protein. So instead of, for me, because I'm lazy and I used to calculate everything all the time when I was bodybuilding, I hate doing it now. So the only thing I really typically calculate will be like protein unless I need to look more in depth. So for even like basal metabolic rate or like your where do you start before you lose weight, I would focus on protein. For women, aim for 100 grams of protein, men 150 grams of protein per day, trying to get about 30 to 40 grams at breakfast. This will kind of help set you up for the day, help decrease your total caloric intake for the day by about 300 to 400 calories. Protein will keep that muscle mass, which is your fat burning machine. So super important to get. And if you honestly, a lot of times, especially in the beginning, if you're focusing on protein, it is going to be tough to even hit that protein goal, let alone eat past that protein goal for a lot of people, if your dose is correct. Now, it is possible you're at the lowest dose and it's just not doing it for you, and then you just have to go up. But if you focus on protein, I think it makes it a whole lot easier, and then worry about the other calculations later on.
Yep. I mean, that's the easiest way.
Yeah.
Because we can talk about stress and we can talk about sleep because our pillars, remember this is lifestyle management, right? So our pillars also include stress and sleep. If you're super stressed out, that will change the way you eat, change the way your body uses food. You're not you'll keep the cortisol spare tire for sure. That last 10 pounds will be nearly impossible to lose. And we can talk about other medications to add on top of that, because there are some people who, even at 15 milligrams of Zepbound, get stuck because, you can have a 400-pound guy who has great results on 2.5 milligrams and a 130-pound woman trying to stay in maintenance without food noise that cannot deal with I mean, at 15 milligrams topped out, can't handle the food noise, right? And I'm not saying can't handle it like it's a moral failure. I'm saying it is still just there. So, it's it's just the way it is, it's just sort of the way it goes. Hold on, there was another question. Speaking of which, the 253, I know we talked about that because I came in at the tail end of that. Right, amazing. I want to celebrate that. Hold on, I'm on I know we need some reactions. So if you go to watchdrmo.com, we need to do some reactions.
Doesn't Mark's birthday.
All right, there we go. I'm gonna give celebrations because that's huge. I mean, literally, that's amazing. Amazing.
2, 3.
Something else.
That's insane per week. That's like 4.8 pounds a week.
I eat all day long. My blood sugar keeps dropping. Did you guys do this with Lisa?
No, we did not.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
theoretically,
eat all
these
day long, my blood
medications
sugar
should
keeps
not cause
dropping.
this.
No, they should not. It
So
also depends on what.
Correct. I mean, if you're not having symptoms in the 50s, it's not a big deal. Some people just have a little bit lower blood sugar that they can tolerate, and it's normal for them. But if you're getting sweaty, nauseated, weak, dizzy, that kind of stuff, it's low. And there might be another reason why. These medications do make other supplements, medications sit in your stomach longer. It could be affecting something else you're ingesting that's affecting your blood sugar. That is a possibility.
Like, make sure you're not on any other medications. Talk to your provider. Make sure you're not on any medications that were increasing the effect of those medications that are making your blood sugar drop. Not everything can be corrected with food. Not everything is because of your weight, right? And even the weight loss with these medications happens because of metabolic repair. It's not all about the poundage, right? So,
And then
yeah,
and it's all day long, which is weird. Because I mean, some people I've saw some people having more problems at night with like nocturnal hypoglycemia while they're on the medications, but still usually related to something else. And then, the fixes,
make sure you're not going super low fat, because if you're just doing carbs, if you're just doing fruits and vegetables, that's not going to stabilize anybody's blood sugar.
No, if you're on
Right?
keto, it's not abnormal to have it in the 50s and that be normal for you because you're just
Yeah.
not using it. So it doesn't matter.
It's a different medical process.
Yeah.
Yep. Ginger S, would semaglutide not work as well for weight loss if you have a lot of inflammation? So the studies were actually done on semaglutide at the higher doses of 1.7 and 2.4. And the CRP, which was it 1 and 2? Anyway, the higher dose, I think it was Ozempic. Whatever. It was either 1.7 and 1 and 2.4 or 1 and 2. Anyway, the higher doses of semaglutide brand decreased your CRP, which is your blood marker of inflammation, one of them, by 60%. So I don't even know if there's CRP research up there. I'm sure there is, right? By this time. I just haven't looked it up lately on tirzepatide. So, but yes, semaglutide will reduce the inflammation as well. And will it do it below those high doses? I believe so. Because from what we've seen, I mean, we've got tirzepatide seems to work a little bit better. So I guess it's the GIP synergy. That's anecdotal. That's not research. So I just gave you the scientific side and then the what we've seen in practice side. Yeah,
I wonder if it going up higher, like losing weight and then dropping dose just to maintain keeps that, that inflammation down. Like, or gets it down faster than you can keep down versus like a low dose might take it 9 months to get it down to normal or lower.
So was the inflammation due to the hormonal pathways of the excess fat mass?
Yeah.
Once it turns into its own organ.
Adiposopathy. I hate that.
Sharon, yes, we do prescribe compound medications. Yes. AMStelehealth.com. Come see us if you're in one of our states.
AMStelehealth.com. Anything but controlled substances. We do not do controlled substances. And what that means is we don't do phentermine, we don't do Qsymia, we don't do Norco, I don't know. Adderall, Vyvanse, which is the only binge eating disorder approved.
Oh, Jessica, I guess didn't see your CMOS. Yeah, you can have CMOS. That's most supplements are not a problem. It's just a matter of if it sits in your stomach longer and causes like reflux, if that's uncomfortable for you. That's kind of about it.
I just want to pick up Hope. She asked about sleep, menopause, and progesterone. So 200 milligrams is the book maximum of progesterone. I have seen on some menopause websites, people go up to 300 or 400 nightly, but I would also try and make sure you're, yeah, that's not in the book. Try and make sure the estrogen is dialed in, because if you're not sleeping well from hot flashes and night sweats, that's the estrogen. And yeah, hey, you know, take a Unisom when you need it.
And watch the hormones, guys, because
Yeah.
the exogenous hormones, and I'm saying talk to your provider, right? I'm not saying
Yes.
listen to some idiot on the internet. I would be the idiot, right? This is not medical advice. You need to talk to your provider and ask questions, right? I actually had a talk yesterday with somebody. They got really sick a couple years ago, and they were burnout, got sick, you know, chicken or the egg, who knows, right? And they said, and I went to the doctor for help, and little did I know, I was the one who had to actually advocate for myself. I didn't know that would be the case. And I find that interesting that, well, healthcare is what it is, right? You're sitting here talking to an internet coach about lifestyle shit. So like, because we're giving you a bit more information than you might get from your provider, because they have 6 minutes with you and we have an hour. So anyway. Oh, hold on. We got nasty comments on TikTok and they weren't mine this time.
No.
Some comments were filtered. Don't be jerks, guys. It's just not just for here. Just be nice to people.
Be a
My
jerk.
nana gets
I don't care. Bring it.
What'd you say?
Be a jerk. I don't even care. Bring it.
Here, bring it. I know. It
We've all
doesn't-
been in the ER a long time. We have pretty
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah. You're not going to break us, promise.
Yeah, right. You know,
I've been called everything at least once.
we're good at snark. I mean, granted, we haven't, I mean, I didn't go to the ER, so I haven't been peed on or anything today. So there's that. But you know, couldn't be worse. Oh, thank you, Ginger. Ginger said we've helped a lot. Was diagnosed with, Nate was diagnosed with atypical ANO. It filtered. Oh, it filtered you. Okay. Oh, darn it. I thought it was something snarky. Atypical. No, but I'm not trying to translate because I can't get it.
Oh.
Okay, it's okay. I'm just pausing because I can't
Yeah.
get the TikTok translation. It's like when we use CT for like, oh, shoot, hold on. That was my cat. Hold on. No, I don't.
Thanks, cat.
Yes. Well, now that I'm in the house, the cat is eating. Oh,
Okay.
there we go. So it filtered your eating disorder comment because yet again, oh shoot, then I just said it. Shoot.
Now we're gonna get banned for
I
children.
know we did last time for talking about
High risk. The H word.
Yeah, right. Yeah, don't yeah, so we fully realize, oh, here comes the other cat. So they're pushing everything over. They love when I talk to people. So here comes the cat. Here, I'll show you guys on TikTok since I'm not going to turn around. But there's the cat. Yes, he's on the counter. If you ever doubted if telehealth was real people on the other end, we are definitely showing you the answer.
Yep.
Yes. Where's
There's one
real?
above from Veach. 11 weeks on Ozempic with 3 at 2 milligrams, going down to 1 milligrams due to sulfur burps and horrible gas. So this, you know, if one's working for you still, you know, for appetite suppression, you know, no problem. You know, 2 is a pretty big jump. It doubles your dose, and maybe that's causing it. But I would like keep a little food diary, kind of see what you're eating, because there's just certain foods, the longer they sit there, the worse they do for you. Red meat for some people, broccoli, cauliflower, do not do well. And they sit there, cause gas, reflux. So I'd keep a food diary, and because eventually you might want to go back up, and then you can at least have some information like, even at 1 milligram, every time I eat a bunch of broccoli with my steak, I have a horrible night, bloating and all this other stuff, and reflux in the morning. It might just be a simple food fix, and then you can actually use the dose that is most effective for you.
Right.
That, and I think every week is just a little bit different. Like I'm on semaglutide. Last week I used a dose I've used before, shouldn't have been a problem. Literally miserable with side effects for the entire week. I don't think I had changed anything. I didn't know if it was some new Grunes that I had taken, but I had been taking them for a week or so before that. Shouldn't have been that.
Or maybe hormonal, you know,
Yep.
still cycling through hormonal.
Yep, could have been an off week. So I'm actually delaying for a day or two right now because I need to dial in a couple things and not have. I mean, it was a bad week of side effects, and not just nausea, just off. That's
No,
after 2 years. I mean,
did you take the right dose?
oh yeah.
Like it's one of those ones like, like, oh, I was, like, oh, it was 20, not 25,
No, I took the
Okay.
right dose, but I sometimes wonder if even from the manufacturer, concentrations are just weird.
Oh, kind of like the Monjuro 7.5 and 10 milligram pens
Yeah,
that don't make any
Exactly, messing
sense.
those up, man.
yeah. I'm like,
Um,
this makes no sense. It was brand name. It shouldn't have been
Okay.
off.
Yeah, because Courtney's on brand name pens, like single serve pens, right? So Kelly said, "Oh, I try to be a huge advocate for myself. I feel personally we know our bodies more than anyone. I truly believe stress will eventually hurt us physically." Sending everyone love and hugs. Thank you, Kelly. Yeah, I agree 100%. Number one, stress will kill you. May not be today, unless it's like Takatsubos, but what that'll tell you today. Don't do that at home. Don't try this at home. But stress will definitely kill you over time, for sure. And we do like that's I consider us as providers at AMS your co-pilots, right? Same as a coach. Any good coach, you've got medical providers on one side, you've got, coaches and mentors on the other. But you are the one driving the bus, and then we're just seats on the bus. Yes, we can provide things that you can't provide. We can provide prescriptions, over at AMS Telehealth. You can check out our states if you want to, if you need medications or whatever. If you don't, I mean, Linda, who's on our call, her primary doc prescribes the medicine, but she doesn't get the information and the backup support. So she's here, right? So that's, doc in the pocket. That's what we do.
Yeah.
Letty said 51, started taking creatine, five monohydrate, 5 grams daily. Will it cause some weight gain? Neil?
It cause a little bit of weight gain because basically it is pulling extra water to your muscles. So it is all water weight. Last time I'd been off it for a while and started, I think, I mean, I'm like 210 pounds. I put on about 8 pounds over like a 10-day period. And then over the next week, it kind of dissipated and I kept about 3 of it. So initially it was this huge bolus of water and nothing else had really changed. And then a lot of it went away. So don't freak out when you're taking it. It is 100% water, which is what you want. And then your muscles work better and they're hydrated.
Well, that's the thing, because we don't like water weight. That's not the kind of water weight you don't like. That's the kind that feeds your muscles, allows your muscles to work, makes happy little mitochondria.
The water weight, that's the water weight that's good. It's in your muscle, makes it look better, muscles fuller, versus in between the skin and whatever, makes you look bloated. So it's the good water weight.
Hopeful Mama said, "Can I ask as an MD, what do I think of the NASM CNC program? I'm taking it." I've always liked the NASM certifications from back in my athletic training days. They're very well researched. But I'm looking, I don't know what this, let me just look, the CNC, hold on, let me look. Oh yeah, definitely worth the benefits. Happy mitochondria are always better. Oh, I don't want to give you my email address. I really don't. Hold on. Please hold. Let's look at Reddit.
She said certified nutritional coach.
Okay. Let me look and see. I went through the ISSN to be a certified sports nutritionist. So when I was deciding on the nutritionist certification I wanted, I personally chose the ISSN and to use their catch line, their slogan, "Why go anywhere else?" Which is pretty funny. Precision nutrition. Also, I'm looking on Reddit because, where else to find good information. I just wanted to see what other people said. So yeah, precision nutrition is definitely good. They're very sound. Because anyone can hang up a shingle and say they're a nutritionist, right? Same as a life coach. I have a certification in it. Nobody cares. The whole point is I've been doing it for 25 years, Most clients are looking for nutrition guidance. You can't out exercise a bad diet. Yeah, whatever. The good starting place for working with general population clients. It didn't give me any new insights into nutrition and wasn't particularly helpful for working with advanced clients. Now, here's the thing. And they talked about, this person went to go on and talk about the RP nutrition certification as well. If you are, quote unquote, just a nutritionist, you should not be working with advanced clients. You need to get them to a registered dietitian because they've probably got some eating disorder issues or something of the sort, right? So you've got to work with a team. That's why I've got nurse practitioners surrounding me. You can't see them on the TikTok. You can't see them on the Instagram. If you go to watchdrmo.com, you will see I am flanked by people who help me.
Yes.
Neil and I are
Yes.
both nutritionists, but you got to have a team and you got to know what you can handle. That's why when Neil said and Amanda said about the type 1 diabetic, that needs to be managed by an endocrinologist, right? We don't say we can do everything because we can't, or well, we could probably better than some, but that's just me saying so because we've done a lot of things really well.
Probably could. It's just, I think you'd benefit greater by having someone local.
Yeah.
Even though you probably have better access to us. So it's really hard.
I
is
know,
hard.
right? Like we tell you to get somebody local, but they're only going to see you once every 3 to 6 months. You're like, then text us in between.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing it for myself for now. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's, and I honestly think any education you can get that you're going to use, right? Because you're like, oh no, I want this. That's perfect. You know, that's a perfect reason. You know, I want this information for myself. I want to be better. I want a more solid foundation. I want to understand. Yeah, I don't care if you pick up my nutrition textbook in there or, you know, you go for an official certification. Usually, you know, once you pay attention. So, and that thing, you know, that's why I started the coaching program, because once people pay, they pay attention. You know, I can give all the advice in the world on how to do things and people blow it off and totally don't do it. But once people pay, they pay attention. So, somebody had, I think, a different question that I might have missed. Did I miss anything, guys?
I think we've hit them.
Okay. And just speaking of navigation of this, lifestyle medicine, weight management landscape, I put something in the chat in Zoom and I'll address it here because I was looking for the Weight Watchers thing and what had changed. And then I went down the internet rabbit hole and got lost. And there's this website that actually has pictures of Zepbound advertising it for $49 a month. I'm like, they're lying. Okay, so here's what you need to know as a consumer. You need to understand Eli Lilly is the only company that produces tirzepatide. Period. End of story. Compound pharmacies take the base chemical that Eli Lilly puts into tirzepatide, combines it with something else, and sells it. That's what they compound, right? So when you have a compound pharmacy or a telehealth provider that's, number one, batching things together like meds and medical care, which irritates the bejesus out of me. You guys know this if you've been here before today. I'm totally blocking my camera with my LaCroix can on Instagram. Sorry guys. It's not an ad for LaCroix. It just was where I said it. Just go with someone that's transparent that you trust, right? I don't care if it's us. We're not everybody's cup of tea. We're a little irreverent and crazy. But hey, we didn't get flagged on TikTok today, so we're getting there.
Not yet.
Not, I was gonna say, I got 5 more minutes.
5 minutes left.
See if we can hold it together. I know, for sure. But anybody have questions? Access, starting the meds. Should I start the meds? I'm scared to start the meds. We didn't address that. That's a usual today. Oh, it's a funny thing. I went to go inject, it compounded yesterday. And I swear, like, is there a big nerve ending right there? Like, it was the most painful, like, poke. I was like, what the heck? I don't want to go there. So I didn't. I moved. I was like, we're not poking there.
All right.
It was seriously like bad. All right, Letty. Oh, that's hilarious.
So for the MJ, yeah. So some people, you know, are on that medication. What the heck's the brand name? Because it's not something you use, Mineral or something like that. The actual for like sleep or pain. What's that?
No, Megace is for food.
Yeah, like the THC medication. Yeah, I mean, it helps with their munchies that they get, like whether they're taking it for like chronic pain or cancer or for whatever reason they're taking it for. It does help with that to counteract some of that hunger effect related to that. I think we had one patient at one point that he was on that and was looking for it for this reason because he put on so much weight due to it.
Yep. Yeah. Well, much like it's used to combat the medication, the weight gain from psychiatric medications. You know, same difference. We're probably gonna get flagged for that. Okay. We're almost done.
Hopeful Mama, getting ready to start semaglutide. Last labs showed autoimmune was in check. I hope it stays that way. I'm honestly hopeful that it honestly gets better while you're on these medicines. I don't think I've seen anybody's autoimmune problem get worse with any of our patients that have been on it. It's only improved. Even at very low doses, it improves.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I find amazing. You know, like when we talk about this all the time, I have a friend and patient who we worked with nutritionally for 10 years, could not get her non-specific colitis under control. She had biopsies, was told she was gluten intolerant, didn't really help to forget gluten, you know, because again, that's a whatever. It is what it is.
Nate, great to meet you, buddy. I checked out your profile. You look amazing, buddy.
Yeah, way to go, Nate.
You look great.
We got flagged.
What do we say?
I don't know.
We said injection.
I don't know.
Given
I said, I'm going to put the notices unclear. I'm still not sure why I got this restriction. I don't know.
Okay, hopefully Mama's already on tirzepatide, and that's what made it in check after 10 years. Yeah, I'm hoping semaglutide keeps you in check, even at a lower dose, like just for taking it for a anti-inflammatory reason.
Well, it also, you know, the lower doses or staying on semaglutide would also reduce your cardiac risk. And I think that's probably due to vascular inflammation. So I can't imagine it would be a whole lot different.
Yeah.
Ladies asking, what do you think about low dose testosterone injections? Well, if you're deficient, I think they're fantastic for making you feel better. If your body just doesn't produce it.
It's a controlled substance though, so we don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're talking to your doctor about it, you thought about putting it on it for whatever reason, I think it's great. And in the studies, it does, while on these medications, help you retain muscle mass a lot easier.
I was gonna say we have a patient. I just did her video visit who is also like Mo's friend. She's actually going to experiment. She didn't need to lose a lot of weight. She just had a little bit of a menopause belly, and she's like, lo and behold, I'm shocked my IBS got better. I'm like, I'm not shocked.
Right.
And she's like, my husband's a surgeon, and he was concerned for me going on it because of that. And I was like, no, you're great.
Yep. Agreed.
So, she's going to experiment with because she is on compounded, she can experiment with a less than 2.5 milligram dose to control her symptoms and inflammation and all that without taking off a bunch more weight because she doesn't need to. And I said, we are totally fine with that. We're great. So.
Yep. Kelly's got a question over on Instagram, which is a great question. And yes, you can always ask a question, Kelly. You know, we talk a lot. It seems to me to be a double-edged sword. I'm now on 4 or 5 meds, status post heart attack. She got a couple of stents. Obviously not a HIPAA compliant space, right, man? You're asking on social media. But anyhow, I've gained 8 to 10 pounds. Not sure if it's because of meds or trying to recover from MI, right? Well, I think optimal body composition and decreased systemic inflammation is what you would be looking for to decrease your ability or decrease the chances of having another cardiac event, because we know you're a vasculopath already, right? So, which means, you've got vascular inflammation. Otherwise that, we can help minimize that and help decrease the chances of things getting worse, in-stent restenosis, things like that. So I would kind of start at the top of that food chain rather than attacking the symptoms, if I was your doctor. Caveat. I'm going to actually shut down the Instagram. You guys know where to find me. Go to watchdrmo.com for the replay if you missed parts of it. It's always recorded on the public live. Go to amstelehealth.com if you want to be a patient, or send me a DM anywhere. So, all right, I'm going to shut down Instagram. Yeah, I don't know why we got flagged on the TikTok. I was just looking at yes, we got flagged on the TikTok again. I don't know if it was the chronic pain discussion or the medication weight gain. It was probably the medication weight gain. I'm guessing. I don't know how to actually help people if you can't say words that are helpful. Which just seems ridiculous to me. I don't know.
We'll eventually get it figured out.
I know. At
They're
least
out
it wasn't until like 5 to 11, right? It could be
Right.
worse. It could be worse. Oh, we got one more. I have a friend who has cardio issues and kidney problems, started Manjaro and she's living life again. Yes.
Yep.
That's how it works. It's you start upstream. And really, I think that's the best idea. I gotta snag Kelly because she's in New York. So we gotta, I'll send her. That's my cat. Thanks, bud. Thanks, bud. Thank you. Much better. Much better. Thank you. Um, at least show your cute face. The other one's laying behind the laptop. I hate being in the house. I mean, I don't hate being in the house. I love the fact that I have a house. I'm very grateful that I have a house that doesn't leak. We just got a new roof. But it's really nice outside and I'd rather be outside. So, but that's okay. I have neighbors. So, oh God, the cat just knocked everything over. Okay, hold on. All right, so awesome for my friend. Yeah, he is cute. He is cute. Here, ready? We'll show you on the TikTok, even though you can't see on there's the other one laying behind the laptop. So I really need we really need to figure out the restreaming thing. My cat needs Manjaro. He's a walrus. I'm not gonna lie. It's okay. We love him anyway. Just because you've got excess fat mass, buddy, doesn't mean it means you're a great snuggle cat. If you want to be our patient, check out our states, amstelehealth.com. If you can't go to us, go to Nicole Baldwin. If you're in a state that's not ours, whereisnicole.com. That's where I don't want to screw up the website. It's Hamilton Telehealth, I think, but go to whereisnicole.com. She will be working from somewhere, but she's about to get hit by a hurricane. So it might be an extra day or so with her getting back to you. So I'm not sure. Well, she'll do the best she can, I'm sure. On that note, if you're our patient, we'll see you tomorrow night for our patient specific live. If you're not, we'll see you back here next Tuesday. You know where to find us.